Man, trying to make YouTube, but just life is happening too fast. Too much going on. But yeah, screen print or the thumbnail, whatever you call it. I got my little truck and I blew the motor, or it seized up, and then I had it hauled 3 times. Once where it broke down to the house, to the auto garage, and then back home. It was like $70-something after I had to pay got the deductible for my insurance. So I said, man, we need another vehicle. And I got a car instead, a Toyota, like I said I was going to do, which is awesome. I got satellite radio, doom, 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 doom. You know, that, so anytime I hear a song, I'll pull up my phone and I'll hit Google, and then I'll hit the speaker button, and it says search for song. And when it shows me what song's playing, I'll screenshot it. So then I'm putting that on my favorites, because with YouTube, you can make a playlist, and I think I shared it public, and just the newer songs, you know, I liked a lot of songs, but the newer songs they're playing that I hadn't really heard, that kind of has a catchy beat, and then, you know, sometime I'll listen to that. I think I got like 14 now, so it's growing. But 2 years ago, I had a Nissan 2006 Frontier, and I got $1,800 from Cohart. They're really big. Well, now I called them on this little GMC Canyon. They said, well, we don't really like that truck. You know, we'll give you $660 for it. I was like, $660? I thought about it, and I said, well, okay, you know. But what's so cool, they're only going to give me $660 for this truck, so I got to use a little bit of that for my wife's last hurrah. She wants to go on a little vacation, so we're going to go to the mountains with a hot tub and enjoy that. But man, it's just so crazy. And then, you know, I was thinking, well, what I need to do? And, you know, I have something just in me, just slowing me down, trying to calm me down. So I was thinking, well, I need to do this. I need to be prepared for that. You know, I need to go get this and that. So I just need to take a minute and breathe and just relax. And I was talking to a guy, you know, about all this stuff. He said, man, he said, don't worry about it. Just deal with it when it comes and be prepared to handle the situation as it arises. You know it's coming. Don't think about it. Don't think about this and that. You might not even be doing that, you know. And you see a lot of things about, a lot of people think we're going to not be caught up in the mark. So who knows, you know. And then you don't want to spend every minute of every day and have a regret or not even know where you've been. Like, I was up there, the loan people that are real high, talking to them. And, you know, they're some good people, but then the lady, I think she had like a little cold, but there's 3 people in the office. So she's calling people, reminding them their bill's due and they need to make a payment. And there's 2 people in the front that kind of help people coming in. So one of the people gets a call, and from a dealer, and I guess it's new business, you know, just they're not really telling me anything. I'm just kind of sitting there waiting on things to go through. And I'm on the phone waiting to get people to transfer this and do that and doing my thing, and just kind of observing. And so he makes a quote. Well, he got a line of business, so I guess they get a commission plus hourly pay. And then the lady, the other employee that was in there, she went back and said, you let him take that? Oh, I need a minute. I got to calm down. You know, and then she walked around for 5 minutes. It justified her not to have to do anything, I guess. But do you really want to go work in a toxic environment where you just dealing with people sometimes is rough? You know how it is. Anywhere you go, it's crazy. Like, do you really want to have to go back and put up with that in an office setting? You know, there's one thing I'd love to do, this bookkeeping thing I got. I bought it in 2018, and it has lifetime access, and it's still got the access in 7 years. but I just hadn't got motivated to do it. I could have already been doing it by now. So, you know, I might tinker around with that. I don't know. But just trying to get motivated to do stuff, rambling on about things. And it's so cool. And I appreciate you guys watching me. You know, I know a couple people always watch my videos, and thank you guys. I'm trying to come up with some more ideas. I want to do more skits, but I want to do it relevant, you know, and not be political, but kind of be funny and not too crazy. So we'll see. Because, you know, you watch TV and they have these shows. Well, they do different things in the show, but it's all about the same thing. You know, and then you got to keep from getting distracted, which is hard. There's a lot of stuff to distract you now, more so than I think it used to be, because there's so much information, you can get distracted all day long. But yeah, cutting the grass, and it was like 2 months since I cut the grass. And when I cut it, I thought, well, maybe my blades ain't working. I don't know. I think either somebody's got radio or they're singing. It's kind of weird. And they're off key. Might be the radio from the distance. But when I was cutting the grass, there was water on the ground. It's like, who's been pouring water on the ground? And it hadn't rained in 2 or 3 days, and the grass just had water under it. You know, so when I cut it, it all dried up. But I had to cut it and cut it and cut it. And I'm going to check my blades, because my son, he uses the push mower as a kind of a mulching tool. You know, he just runs over it and anything he run over. And the blade's bent like that. So it's shaking, so I got to replace that blade where he ran over a rock or root or stones. I don't know what he did. Threw it up in the air and beat on it. Who knows? But yeah, man, just wanted to share that. That ain't giving nothing for cars today. I called Pull Apart, and they said, well, you know, they all say the same thing, whatever they want to say. It depends on the inventory. It depends on the usage. There's not much demand for that truck. You know, we don't have a high demand, so there's no use. So we'll give you $320, or maybe it's $390. I think it's $390. There's, you know, for South Carolina, nobody really cares about that truck. So Cash for Cars, which is a division of Copart, I think it's giving me $690. And I just had to have the title, the keys, have it cleaned out, sign the title to get here. They give me a check, then I can take a picture of it and deposit it. Then I can book our little vacation. But yeah, it's crazy, man. What you got to do these days to get by, and you know, it's always something. It's always something. But one cool thing, I didn't even realize it. Since I had the little thing on the car, they were going to have the title issued to them, but they hadn't even done the paperwork yet, because I cleaned it up before they were able to do it. So you know, just stuff you have to be aware while you're doing things. And then they said, well, better call who you bought it from. And she said, I ain't processed the paperwork yet. And I said, well, I just paid it off. So go ahead and, you know, send that title to me. Don't send it to them, because they're no longer the lien holder. So stuff like that you got to keep up with. It's always something. It's always something. You know, and then you look at these people like, one of the best ideas I've seen Cody Sanchez, shout out to her. I like her little YouTube channel. But they don't really go into depths. They give you the ideas, but they don't really give you the nitty gritty. And that's what makes it hard. You know, without the nitty gritty, you could waste a lot of money, or it might be all the ideas you need and you just don't know. Like she talks about buying businesses and, you know, like laundromats and stable business at last. And I don't remember the guy's name. He's young, and he'll do stuff just to show you can earn money. So I don't know how they're doing it. But she talked about, I think he didn't really do it. He didn't show it. He shows what he's doing. At least it looks like he's doing it. But she'll talk about it. And then I seen it on one of those things you get on the internet. How you go to, You know, how you gonna make sure people pay you the things? So that's all the stuff you don't know, all the little things. But you go out to these big old housing developments. They got like 100 people. Say if you got all 100 of them, every week, 4 o'clock in the morning, you go out there and push their can to the curb. You probably walk 10 miles or more to do it, and you charge them $5. And then at the end of the day, you push their can back to where it was at the house. So $5 a customer. So if you had 100 customers, you could make $500 in a day. No telling if they'd all pay you. Or they probably wouldn't have proof. I don't know if you'd have to take 500 pictures to prove you pushed it. It's it's a good idea in theory, but a lot of those ideas, you've probably been through it too. You see a lot of these ideas make money on the internet. It's just somebody trying to sell something, or everybody be doing it if it's that easy. Some people are good at stuff. Some people it's like, I can't do that. It's just like this bookkeeping stuff. I'm really interested. You joined a Facebook group, and I was asking some questions, and then the guy told me, he said, maybe this ain't for you. Might have a point there. So, it's like you got to find out what you want to do. I like the idea of it, but it's just getting in there and trying to do it, It's two different things. But then my kids, I worked a lot, and I was always working and only get to see them a little bit. Well, now my grandbabies, I want to see them while they're little, because once they get to doing their life, it'll be like me working all the time. They go to working, so I only got a few years. So I don't want to be too busy that I miss that. And I'm already old. So, got the little mobility issues, trying to stay healthy. But yeah, finally getting rid of the truck, have 2 cars, and it's crazy. I called this other place. My air conditioning, I've been told 1,100, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300 to get it fixed. And some people say, oh, that's for the whole thing. And then some people say they went to a dealer and it was like twice as much, like 2,600. And they got it fixed, and then it tore up the next year. Well, we got a car with air conditioning. So where I bought the car, they have a mechanic shop to go to, and they charge like 160, I think, something like that. They pull all the refrigerant out, put it in, put dye, and then they diagnose to see what's wrong with it. So instead of paying, $1,100, you might pay $1,500, $1,600 once they figure out what's wrong with it, and then it's going to cost you. I don't know. I'm not sure what they charge. The one I bought the car from, that's where they go, but I asked them how much they charged me for my truck to put a new motor in it. You will not believe what they said. This is the guy that writes up the thing. I told him probably what's wrong with it. It was stalling out at red lights and stalling out at stops, and I put more gas in it. So I thought it was a fuel filter, but I put this Lucas fuel injection cleaner, went down the road. It was going about 75, then 45, 55, 45. Got off the interstate, it quit. Wouldn't start back up. It went, hit, like that. Wouldn't turn over or anything. I took it to the mechanic, and he said the motor seized up. So I asked the guy that does the service writing for the place, and he said $15,000. I bought it in 2000 for $7,300 at like 114,000 miles. It got about 156. And now they say 15,000 fixed truck, and they only gonna give me $660 for the truck, because they said it ain't worth nothing. And I looked on the internet, and GMC's, they got a lot of problems with the motor killing anyway. So, oh well, it's probably why it's so cheap when I bought it. It lasted 4 years, So hopefully this next time I get a Toyota. I've been seeing one. Now, it went fast. I seen one for $1,500 or $1,800, but it had 300 and something thousand miles on it, and it was a straight drive. So you think about it, if you get a truck that runs, now you got to keep insurance on every month and pay taxes once a year, instead of putting a trailer hitch on the back of your car and buying a trailer, which I might do. I might do that instead. You know, then all you got to do is just put the trash in the trailer and get my son to get in the car and haul it off. Then it won't mess up our cars and make them smelly. You know, and I just haul it for that. But then you got to make sure your trailer's got lights on it. Or you get $1,500, get you a truck, a cheap truck, and then you can sell it for $500 if you tear it up. So that might not be too bad, but it probably wouldn't be worth anything if you get it for $1,500. Probably, we'll give you $10 for it. So man, it's crazy. It's crazy, you know. Drink my coffee. Got up early this morning. You know, to me, it was like 7-something. It's not early compared to the weekend. But yeah, I'll probably get a burger tonight. Get an old juicy cheeseburger, I hope. Put all this together and keep doing the videos and trying to get motivated. I did my hazmat, you know, but I hadn't studied hazmat questions to go back and take my license. So I don't even know if it's still good to do that. But, you know, I can't drive unless my wife, but then I get sleepy driving, so I don't know if really driving is a good thing for me. And like I said, I used to get road rage, but now I'm old road rage. So it's like dusty road rage, but I'm not leaving anybody in the dust. But but now driving in this car, it's peaceful. It's like, oh, okay, I had to look. Oh, the car's they're behind me, really close. Okay, I need to speed up a little bit. So I just sit here in the steering wheel. Look like I'm concentrating. Trying to not get on people's nerves. You know, but you look around, you always notice everything, man. Like, went to Sam's Club to get gas, and I had to look on the dash to see which side of the gas tank's on the first time I put gas in it. And for a whole tank of gas, 14 gallons, I think, it's getting about 330 miles. That's not too bad. But there was there's a man that pulls up, and then a young man behind him, and then there's 2 vehicles on each stall. So there's enough for like 8 vehicles to get gas at the same time. So I'm waiting behind a lady that's in the second stall, the second one back. Well, the first gentleman gets out, and he pays for everybody's gas, you know, except for the lady that was in front of the lady I'm behind. So he's paying for all the gas, and they just chilling out. And I was like, oh man, that's nice. And I was wondering, I wonder if he'll pay for my gas, you know, but he didn't. But anyway, the 2 on my stall took off. So I pull all the way forward, and the guy's still trying to figure out why he's having a hard time getting his card to work, because you gotta put your Sam's Club card in there first, get it to read, and then you gotta go back with your method of payment. So it's, you know, and then you gotta have $100 in the bank, or it won't let you do it. So several times I hadn't been able to get gas. And today my car was all ate up, so I had to go into Sam's and get a brand new card, and then go get gas. But I was already there. I was determined to get gas no matter what. But yeah, you gotta, you just gotta keep on trucking and living life, and no telling what's going on. My wife passes. I told my son he'd move in, and he's having a hard time, and I just gotta figure out how to motivate him to get him to do his part. You know, he'll save me a lot of money living with me. Then I might not be lonely. You know, my wife's still doing okay, but, you know, she's been asleep all day, hadn't felt good, and she got all these issues, and then she gets sick on top of it, even if it's the little annual colds. It wasn't a flu, but it's kind of like a little sinus fever you get a couple days, and it just put her out all day. She'd be in bed, and not feeling good, and she come put her head on me and want me to hold her, and, you know, so sweet. And she just ain't feisty at all. So, you know, normally she's feeling good. She said, I'll bust your nose. Kind of like Granny Crappet on Beverly Hillbillies. Remember that? Little bitty lady, tough as nails. Kind of like my wife, but, you know, she kind of having a hard time right now. But we doing what we can do. She normally cuts the grass. She'd be out here and couldn't hardly breathe. You cut grass, so I can't cut it now. So, you know. So I was out there trying to cut it. And then I got off the lawnmower. I said, good gracious, I can't hardly walk. I said, you feel like you sore like this? She said, yeah. Which I never do it. Because she'd always cut the grass. Because, you know, here I am trying to get my leg. My leg don't want to work right no more. So I had to kind of maneuver my body to get that range of motion where I can throw it up there. And finally cut the grass. And, and I'm riding around and something gets off. You don't want to get off the lawnmower, and then I can't figure out how to put it in reverse and keep it running because, you know, I can't remember it. I had to just keep playing with it because you got to hold that little clutch on the left side, you know, to ride more, and then you got to have the blades up, I think, for it to start. And then once you drop the blades, if you got it, you know, in the speed thing, it'll go forward. But if you don't, then it won't go, and then you got to hit the clutch to do the speed thing. But when you go reverse, I can't get it to go reverse. When I get it to go reverse, it just quits down or shuts down. So I had to get off of it, put it in neutral, back it up so I could turn and then go forward. And then my neighbors don't want me to really use this road. The driveway, you know, it's got their little tracks and it's a really dirt road, and they just go up the little tracks. Well, the grass on the outside, I got like a tree line. I got a little strip of grass. I wish trees were all the way to it, but they got a power line, so it's a little bit of land, probably enough to park about 20 cars or double wide and some cars, you know. It's not big, but enough where you can physically do it there. It'd be right next to the trees, but, you know, I had to cut that with a lawnmower. Well, at the edge, it's like a little pie shape or a piece of pizza. So you get to the end of it, and I couldn't quite turn around. So I turned around, and I went right in that soft dirt. And here I am sliding with a lawnmower, just kind of smoothed it out about 5-6 feet, and got back on the yard. And I was like, oh man, they gonna fuss that I got in their yard or the driveway to cut the grass. And then right there at the edge where I think the line is, I had like a little thing about this high, about that big, like a little grass fence right there. I said, didn't cut it on the line, and I said, oh well. I said, I'm trying to cut it. You know, he's got a John Deere, so it's a lot better than my lawnmower. I've had my Craftsman lawnmower about 4 years. I already had to plug a tire, and my wife tore the blades up. Had to fix those. And my son tore the blades up the push mower, and then we got what else we had to fix? Had to put a battery in it, or they ruined the battery, and a couple other things. You know, it's like a car, but smaller, but it still runs high. I think the tires, some of them tires, like $60 if you had to buy them brand new, $70, and you get tires for a car sometime that price. You know, you just buy the tire online, and you take it, somebody can just put it on and swap it, save you that $18 fee. Hadn't done it yet, but it's a possibility to do it. So trying to save that money, trying to chill out and not get overwhelmed. And, you know, hope y'all have a good day, and thank y'all for listening to rambling me on, or me ramble on. And it looks like it's going to rain. It hadn't rained. It's cloudy. Nice and beautiful out here, just trying to enjoy the weather. Daughter called me today and said, hey, I feel better. And I was like, well, that's so good. She hurting in her shoulder, and she's only 24. And I said, you wait till you get my age. I said, you got to really be careful. You know, you got to stay in your range of motion, which is like right here. But if you go all the way over here, you know, you hurt yourself so easy. So it's easy to hurt yourself. Tiger Balm really good. But, if you hurt yourself real bad, then you got to go spend a lot of money to tell you there ain't nothing they can do. Most time a surgeon, they fix you by cutting you. So what kind of fix is that, It'd be better to sew you up instead of cut you. But what I know. Yeah, you hear the neighbors now, their music. They outdoors, having a good time listening to a little music. Probably cut the grass, and they some outdoorsy people, I think. Probably don't have good TV on. Or maybe the free internet TV's not working. Mine shut down last night, and I was just like, I went to bed. So I think that's what a lot of people would do if the internet went off or it died. Time to take a nap. He just bored sitting here with the reality. He's like, I'm unplugged. Put me back in. It's my, spot me, coach. Put me back in the fight. Don't let me sit on the bench and just look around. Taking a big old nap. But yeah, it's worth it, but it's aggravating. So anything worth it is aggravating, but it's worth it. Or it wouldn't be aggravating, or it wouldn't be worth it. However you look at it. Just can't get overwhelmed. Just go in the zone, go through the motions and do it, and then it's worth it. But yeah, we'll see. I don't want to work in an office where people are fighting over $10 worth of commission. Like, go get your oil change. They get you to do like a $200. No, it's $100. They'll do the radiator fluid. And if they get you to do it, they get like $1.50 for it. Like 1.5%. But you paid $100 for them to get that. That's crazy. All right. Don't watch this if you don't want to hear me talk about this right here. But, my mobility issues, they did pretty good. Yeah, the lady, her English is kind of rough, but she can speak good English, but her daughter works up there. And the first time that I had them cut, because can't really get my toes, and I can cut them, but if I cut them, I cut them too much and they'll bleed. And, then with high sugar and all, I can lose my toes. So it's better to let somebody cut my toes. And they only charge like $10. And I give a $2 tip. But I was looking for work and getting excited. When I first got laid off, I still had my weekend job. And I went up there to get them cut first time on the weekend. And the lady told me, she said, yeah, you can practice cutting on my toes. And she just, I think she's, maybe she was born over here or she grew up over here. So she knows a lot of stuff and she's Americanized and, but she was talking some junk. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what she wanted to be to. But she just said all that. And then they took off. And like 2 or 3 times I went in there and didn't see them. And then I've seen them after that. But her mom's cut my toes now, not 4 times. And she said, you come to me, And I didn't realize it. She's even giving me a $10 discount. Because I think they charge $15 for that now. So I don't know how long I'll get it. But as long as she cuts them, I'll go in there. Because if you don't cut them things, they grow into like snaggle feet. And you look like some kind of... maybe a hobbit, had them big old, well, they don't have as much hair as a hobbit, but you know what I mean? They look like the big old snaggle feet and hobbit feet, I guess. And the bad thing, they'll start putting holes in your socks because them toenails are so strong, they'll just cut your socks like razors. Or if you scratch your leg, you'll slice your leg open, and your shoes, if you just do that, your toenail will cut through the sock, cut through your shoe. And it's like, good gracious, man, I got knives on my feet. My son's even stronger than mine. And so I just had to share that because it's hilarious, just things you got to deal with. It's just like, why is that? Why is that happening? But anyway, having that air conditioning and saving them songs, man. I'm gonna have my playlist. So if you see my playlist, let me know. You might not like a lot of the songs because we even went to a place we normally go sometimes Sunday night, and I was telling one of the waitresses there about some of the music. Like, you like that kind of music? I would not have figured. So, you know, people assume you are by you, I guess. And I guess they probably think I like country music, maybe, with the beard. I don't know. I don't really care for country too much, but I like Christian music and, you know, rock and roll, and I like some of that. I can't remember what the name of it is. One of them's real popular. It's this lady from Australia, and then you know, you got the other one that's this guy mixed a bunch of stuff. I think his name's Fred, and he said, "Leave me alone," and several ones, and you know, it's BNP, I think, channel 53 on satellite radio, or it's 52, but BNP, and they play a lot of dance music, I guess. This morning it was all like love dance music. You know, they talk about all kind of relationships and in the music, and I was like, well, this is not, I don't really like that part of it, but you know, but then they go back to the, you know, I can't move like that, but I can, you know, but with the bass and all that, techno or whatever, so it's kind of cool to listen to when you're driving, or, but maybe my ADHD, I can listen to that and I don't think about nothing, because I had to really concentrate to think about things. So maybe it's trance music or something, puts you in a daze, I don't know, or relaxes you, who knows. But yeah, share all that stuff together, and you know, thank y'all for watching, and we'll talk at y'all later while I'm trying to get motivated to do something. Woo! Running errands, paying off things, and get me a chicken biscuit. Woo! Got some raisin toast over here, and some hash browns with some jalapeno peppers and ham, some grandma fluffy eggs and grits, and pork chops, some sweet tea, and T-bone steak. Look at that. Oh man. Whoa, look at that. T-bone. I guess I need to cut some grass. Yeah. Woo. That grass. That grass. I don't Ford Ranger. Ford Ranger. There goes Ford Ranger. Ford Ranger. Ain't no Ford Ranger. Ford Ranger. Went to Sam's Club, get my water and my Fuji apples. And my son bought me some yoga. Ooh.
He was just standing there with that up against
Got the salad. Yep, pretty salad.
Yeah.
Look at that burger.
Here, take
That
it.
burger's huge.
The pie is for here.
I've got a hamburger steak, fries. Put salt on them. I'll let you do it, baby.
I might make a mess.
That bowl is hot.
Empty bowl.